Okay, practice set 5, chapter 7. We've already started this, so we've done these first 4 here. That would be on slide 2. This is going to be slide 3. So we're going to move on to the next slide here. And we have aluminum sulfate, Al2SO4 3 times, is used in some antiperspirants. How many moles of sulfur are in 3 moles of aluminum sulfate? So we're going to start with 3 moles of aluminum sulfate. Now we want to get rid of moles of aluminum sulfate. So we're going to say for every 1 mole of aluminum sulfate, we want to know how many moles of sulfur will that be. Well, according to our formula, right, we have an understood 1 here, but we have 3 of these. That's 3 times 1. So that's going to be 3 moles of sulfur, which means our final answer then would be 9. We have 9.0 moles of sulfur. All right, so how many moles of aluminum ions are present in 0.4 moles of aluminum sulfate? So again, we'll start with the 0.40 moles of aluminum sulfate. We'll set up that same ratio, so 1 mole of aluminum sulfate, and I'm just going to call that AlSu. It's getting long to write. So aluminum sulfate, for every one of those, how many aluminums will we have? Well, we're going to have not 1, we have an understood 2 there, so 2, so not a 1, 2 moles of aluminum. So we'll go 2 times 0.4 gives us 0.80 moles of aluminum. Again, so we're just taking those subscripts from our formula, and that's how we're setting this up. So for every 2 moles of aluminum, we're going to have 3 moles of sulfate. In that 3 moles of sulfate, we'll have 1 times 3 is 3 moles of sulfur, and 4 times 3 is 12 moles of oxygen. So how many moles of sulfate ions are present in 1.5 moles of aluminum sulfate? We'll take 1.5 moles. I think you're getting the idea. Down here would be aluminum sulfate. And for every 1 mole of aluminum sulfate, we're going to get 3 moles of sulfate, SO4 ions. And so 3 times 1.5, that's going to get us 4.5 moles of sulfate. All right, quick and easy one for that slide. So again, all you're using are the subscripts of your formula to then look at the mole to mole ratios between the different atoms that are in the formula. All right, so this will be video number 2 for this practice set. We'll move on to the next slide, and that will be our 3rd video.